Alright, folks, we got breaking news exclusive to this channel right here. I hereby claim the North Pole as my territory. Now, you might be thinking, well, he can't just do that. You're right, I can't do that. But, that's a joke, by the way. Iran actually is claiming Antarctica as their property, right? And wants to set up naval bases on Antarctica, right? Iran is in the Middle East. Nobody can claim Antarctica as theirs. Just because nobody's done it yet doesn't mean Iran can do it. What the hell is Iran thinking, y'all? I don't get that whatsoever. Big Fannie Willis takes the stand today, folks. Oh, my goodness. She is going to be kicked off of this project. However, you know, a lot of people are predicting that this case is going to go away. Cases just don't go away. I'm sorry. But it's going to hamper the case. That's for damn sure. And it's going to push the trial date way back. And it's, you know, good news for Trump. Because when he gets elected in November and then put into office in January, he'll be able to acquit himself, or pardon himself. I'm sorry, pardon me. I apologize. The House passes a bill that basically blocks Biden's cutoff of new oil and gas exports, right? There's a big old thing, a story I covered the other day about oil and gas leases, and there were some projects going on with some exports that we were going to be doing, and Biden put a stop to that, right? Well, the House is passing a bill going to force Biden's hand to where he has to do this. I'm telling you, folks, Biden is actively destroying the country with his policies. I know it might sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm really not. Everything he seems to do turns to dirt. It's just all garbage, folks. And we can't really take much more of this. You know, the left and the Democrats love to scream, oh, it's a threat to my democracy. A threat to my democracy. Trump is a threat to my... We're not going to have any more elections ever again, right? You hear this all the damn time, but where's the threat? Where's the actual evidence that Trump is going to stop elections or he's going to be some kind of dictator, right? There is no evidence. All evidence, if you look at his past administration, points to positive change for the country. You know, a growing manufacturing base, closing off our border, not allowing so many people to come across. Of course, we still had hundreds of thousands of people come across a year, but it wasn't 10 million over 3 years, right? It wasn't even 1 million over the 4 years that he was in office, for God's sakes. It's just nuts. But everything Biden does, everything from the economy to foreign policy to pooping his pants, y'all, is destroying this country. His policies are garbage, and everybody can see that. Now we have almost the entire Democratic Party saying, Joe Biden's fine. He's doing a great job, y'all. Look at the economy. The economy's great. But when you go to check your pocketbook, is it really so great? Let me know down in the comments what you think about all that. But what's up, everybody? How the hell's your day going? Hope y'all are having a pretty good day. This here is Legitico Response. We cover political news, keep you up to date, keep you informed so we can stay in the fight and push back against this woke ideology, against these corrupt politicians, against everybody that we want out of the government. So, if you down with staying informed for stuff like that, smash that subscribe button for me and turn on your notifications, because YouTube ain't just going to put my videos up in your feed, but turn on your notifications. It'll come up in your inbox every single time. And if you also could do me a big favor right now, look below and smash that like button for me. It really helps the channel a lot. But enough of all my ranting and raving about, right? Let's get into some news right quick, y'all. We're going to talk about Mitch McConnell. Why, speaking of something Jon Stewart recently said, right? The politicians we currently have in office have broken the record for being the oldest politicians in our country's history. And they broke the record from 4 years ago when they broke the record 4 years ago. Yeah, our politicians are just way too old. We do have some young and up-and-coming stars in Congress and in the Senate. J.D. Vance is one of these people. He seems to be doing pretty good right now. He broke the story about the so-called impeachment trigger put in that Senate bill that just recently passed. That Ukraine foreign aid bill that is absolute garbage and will do nothing but fund foreign war, which is what we're going to be talking about today. McConnell defends push for Ukraine aid amid attacks from Trump wing of GOP. Every argument against this is wrong. You've heard my arguments before. If you follow this channel, you know my arguments, and I'm going to make them once again. Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell strongly defended his handling of a foreign aid package and bipartisan border security deal that have come under heavy criticism from his right flank, saying bluntly that every argument against Ukraine aid is wrong and that the opposition amounts to a political reaction driven by former President Donald Trump. Now, right off the top, we know this is garbage, right? Not even what McConnell was saying. But that foreign aid package deal didn't include anything about border security, so what in the hell were they talking about? Maybe they mean Ukrainian border security. I guess that's what they meant. Or Israeli border security, Taiwanese border security, because they're not talking about United States-Mexico southern border security, because that bill that they tried to pass but failed, right, which Democrats actually voted for, or voted against, I should say. I'm sorry. I mess up my words sometimes. Yeah, 4 Democrats voted against that. Had to, because we only have 48 Republicans, and the bill failed 48-52. So that means 4 Democrats voted against it because it failed. Maybe it was a typo. I'm not sure. But no, there was no border security. No United States border security. That's a whole different bill, folks. Which, speaking of, I saw another tangent news, right? I saw another headline talking about that border security bill. Now they're going to come after Republicans. Oh, Republicans don't want border security anymore for some reason, even though we've been yelling and screaming at the top of our lungs, which I'm not a Republican, but I do identify with most Republicans because they seem to be the only party that has any sort of logic. Yeah, sure, we've got Democrats in the Republican Party, but for the most part, the Republican Party is using logic and saying, hey, we need rational thoughts, we need rational actions, we need to do something. And what do they come up with? They come up with amnesty for everybody. They want to fix illegal immigration by making it no longer illegal, essentially. That's their border security package. McConnell, having just presided over one of the most tumultuous periods in his nearly 2-decade tenure atop the Senate GOP, said he has occasionally in the past been on the short side of GOP senators, like on government funding bills and debt ceiling hikes. Yeah, because he's always voting with the Democrats on stuff like that. He was, oh yeah, you want to do this, you want to do that, spend this money, spend that money, go right ahead. Yeah, he is essentially a Democrat sitting atop the GOP Senate. That is wrong. We do not need Democrats in the GOP side of the Senate. We need a conservative. I don't care if he's Republican or Democrat, to be honest with you. As long as they're fiscally conservative, that's all I really care about. Because we have a spending problem in this country, and none of these people up in Washington, D.C. seem to want to fix it. But in an interview with CNN in his Senate office on Wednesday, McConnell called this battle over Ukraine aid a rare issue, where he had to get well out in front of his party, which has grown increasingly resistant to helping fund the foreign war amid ascendant isolationist wing being driven by Trump. That's a lie. That's another lie. Trump isn't an isolationist. Right? There are some isolationists out there, but most of us, we don't like when you blow up kids in other countries. Nobody likes that. We don't like funding a foreign war. We would much rather that go into our own economy. How about you help the veterans that suffered and fought and died, some of them, for our country to defend, right, our democracy, defend our way of life. Why don't you help some of these people out? Why don't you help some of the homeless people? Why don't you fix up some of this broken infrastructure that we have around here? Why don't you do something to stop
the absolute invasion that we have going on our southern border. Oh, you care more about Ukraine being invaded, but you could care less when our country's invaded just because they're not invading us with tanks. Yeah, it's all BS, folks. It's not a question of whether I'm frustrated or not, McConnell said when asked about the criticism he's endured from within his own party. I feel strongly this is in our best interest. How? I would love to know how. America's best interest and the world's best interest to do this. And being beat up is something I'm kind of used to after 18 years. You still never hear a good reason why we should fund a foreign war and allow these people to kill foreign soldiers and blow up kids in other countries. No good reason for that. Over the last few weeks, McConnell blessed a bipartisan border security deal that he tried to sell GOP senators, only to see it derailed by House Republican leaders, fellow senators, and Trump himself, as if Trump could do anything about that. They place Trump in here like he's in government or something, like he's some sort of legislator. No, they do something in Congress or in the Senate, and Trump's like, yeah, that's bad news. Or, yeah, that's a good idea. And they throw him in there as if he's egging it on. No, he's reacting to this stuff. What the is wrong with these people? Then he helped push through the Senate a $95.3 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, only to find himself in the minority of his conference when 22 of the 49 GOP senators voted to approve the plan earlier this week. Now House Speaker Mike Johnson is threatening to shelve the bill altogether, all with Trump's backing. Once again, as if Trump can do anything about it. That's the same thing as saying it's with my backing. In the interview, McConnell harkened back to his childhood when his father, a foot soldier in World War II, had warned about the Russian threat, something he says only grown more pervasive decades later. I would love to see this threat you're talking about. I would love to see the Russian threat. From what we can tell from Ukraine, they're not much of a threat anymore. Every argument against this is wrong. Every single one of them. Oh, right. So, not blowing up kids in foreign countries and funding a foreign war that involves us in no way, right, is wrong. Not helping our own countrymen and helping our own people and helping our own border. No, that's wrong. Yeah, you shouldn't want to help our veterans. You shouldn't want to stop the invasion on our southern border. You should not want for these people to blow up kids in foreign countries. You should not want for these people to kill each other. Why would you want them to not kill each other? Yeah, very rational thinking from an 80-something-year-old man. McConnell said of providing billions more to Ukraine. Most of the money's being spent here. Oh, really? So it's not helping Ukraine. Which one is it, McConnell? Europeans have done as much, and after the $55 billion from the EU, more than we have. Not a single American soldier has lost their lives in this fight. We've got a bunch of people willing to kill Russians. I can't find an argument against this that makes any sense. Wow. This guy is actually saying it's good to kill Russians. Yes, it is a good thing to send Ukrainian soldiers to go and fight and die and kill Russians. Why is this a good thing? Why is war a good thing? Somebody please let me know down in the comment section why war is necessary. Why war is a good thing. Why is it okay for us to see somebody fighting in a foreign country and say, here's some gunpowder, blow yourselves up? McConnell added, so I think it's a political reaction led, obviously, by the likely nominee for president having a view and expressing a view on this. So I think that's why we are here. McConnell's comments come as Johnson said on Wednesday that the House would not take up the aid package. Thank you, Johnson. With many in his party arguing it's time to stop pouring money into Ukraine and calling for more aggressive border security measures than the package proposed by the bipartisan group of senators and blessed by the Senate GOP leader. The Republican-led House will not be jammed or forced into passing a foreign aid bill that was opposed by most Republican senators and does nothing to secure our own border, Johnson said Wednesday. Yes, Johnson is now coming back from his stupid omnibus bills, his temporary funding of the government bills that he had to do. I guess he had to force himself to do that because he said he wasn't going to do that no more, and he ended up doing it anyway. Thank you, Mike Johnson. This is utterly ridiculous, and we need to stop funding these foreign wars that we could negotiate peace, right? Putin's already said they've already tried to negotiate peace. Boris Johnson came in and said, no, we're going to have Ukrainian soldiers kill Russian soldiers until there's no more Ukrainians. That's a horrifying thought if you're a Ukrainian, right? That's just absolutely... These people are insane. I say it all the damn time. These people are absolutely insane to think that I or any other American would agree that, yes, people over here killing each other is okay. We don't need to try to stop it. As a matter of fact, we need to help this side because we don't like the other side. It's absolutely ridiculous. McConnell said he wouldn't comment on Johnson's assertions. Yeah, that's a good idea. But he suggested that the Senate bill should get a vote on the House floor. Why? Why? Why do we want this garbage? We don't need this garbage. Whatever advice I have for the Speaker, I give him privately, not publicly, McConnell said. The only thing I've said publicly is that we've heard all kinds of rumors about what the vote would be on Ukraine. Why not have it? In the interview, McConnell downplayed the influence of the isolationist wing of his party. They're not isolationists. America First is not an isolationist movement. It is what it says it is. America first, then everybody else. It's ridiculous. Arguing that Republican views about the U.S. posture in the world have long been driven by their party's presidential candidate, something not unusual now given Trump's positions. America first. It's not isolationist. Isolationist would be shut off everything and don't screw with nobody at all, ever. I'm not about that. I think having foreign policy is a very good thing, but I think it needs to be done in a much more logical fashion instead of fueling proxy wars all over the damn place. We need to try to stop war. It's just... I don't know, it's frustrating. Let me know in the comment section if you get frustrated about this stupid crap, about how some of these people think that funding foreign wars and egging people on and having proxy wars over here and all this other crap is a good idea. You know, sending the CIA to go have a coup in this country and overthrow the leader. That's none of our business, right? If we have a leader that is an evil dictator, we export culture to that country. So the people rise up and do it themselves. You don't send in the CIA to do it. Or have them come here legally. Having lived as long as I have, I've kind of observed the party go up and down on foreign involvements, depending usually on who the president is or the nominee for president having the biggest impact on public opinion, McConnell said. McConnell, who turns 82 next week, has not said if he would run for the GOP leadership spot after his current term concludes at the end of the year. That position could grow more complicated for the Kentucky Republican if Trump wins the presidency, given the two haven't spoken in more than 3 years, and they had a major falling out after the January 6th 2021 Capitol attack. Yeah, that's because McConnell jumped on the Democrat train once again and was like, oh, Trump's an insurrectionist. No, Trump tried to stop that. We all know that Trump tried to call in the National Guard. Pelosi turned it down. We've all heard the chief of police, the Capitol chief of police, yelling and screaming when these people started coming in that he needed help. He needed help. They didn't want to give it to him. He said no. Nancy Pelosi was waiting on this.
And the rest of it. So they don't want them to see that contrast, so they focus on something else. And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
But let me know what you think about all this down in the comments section. Do you have any good reasons, any logical reasons why we should continue to fund a war that should be brought to a halt? Why, any good reasons why we should fund this war and not negotiate it to be stopped? Why is that? I would love to know a very good reason, a logical, rational reason, if you've got one. I've made videos like this for a while, and ain't nobody ever come to me with a rational reason for why we should continue to fund a foreign war. They all give me this, oh, well, we're funding the military-industrial complex, and we're doing this, and Putin's bad. Yeah, sure, he's bad, but it's none of our business, right? But like I said, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. That's all I got for this one. Y'all try to have a good day and be positive. Peace.